All right, Nick, let's talk about the New York Jets. Obviously, the Aaron Rodgers saga has been going on for a long time there. People are wondering, but we have a lot of interesting news revolving that story and some other potential stories today that I think Jets fans are going to love.
Yeah, Miles, a lot of stories involving the Jets this weekend, and I think it points to a larger picture of where this movement is going with the Rodgers saga that I agree with you, Jets fans will be really excited to hear about. But before we get into that, obviously New York fans are looking to see who your next starting quarterback is going to be. But we've got an interesting question to ask you. Who is your favorite backup Jets quarterback of all time? I think it's a very interesting question. We've asked this on a number of other teams, and they've given us a lot of very interesting answers. Really curious what you guys have to say. And as always, please stick around to the end of this video to hear a word from the partner of today's video, Neuro. All right, Miles, what you got? What's the latest for the Jets?
Yeah, Nick. So the New York Jets have had a lot of interesting news come up in the days and months around surrounding Aaron Rodgers, but that's not the most important thing we want to talk about today. There's some other news that popped up over the week that reportedly former Giants first round draft pick and star wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. will visit with the Jets on Monday at their team facility. New York Post confirmed this. And if all goes well, Beckham could be the newest offensive toy for quarterback in waiting Aaron Rodgers, who's expected to be traded from the Packers to the Jets whenever the team can reach a deal. So, Nick, that is very exciting. It seems like Odell Beckham could be one of the bevy of wide receivers who have tried to come to New York ever since Aaron Rodgers has been on the table as a quarterback option there. You now have potentially a receiving core of Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, and Odell Beckham. That's a pretty good core of guys, if you ask me. And I just think this is pretty good, Nick, because it pushes me in the direction more that Odell Beckham wouldn't be making a move like this if he didn't think that Aaron Rodgers was going to be coming to the Jets. And same likewise as another report this week says that Rodgers and Alan Lazard have been out practicing together through the offseason. And it's just the same vein there that Lazard and Rodgers wouldn't be getting reps. Lazard will be getting reps with whoever he thought the quarterback was going to be. And obviously that is Aaron Rodgers. He feels sure that Rodgers is going to be the guy. So all of these points are just leading that the Rodgers thing is going to get done. What do you think about this so far in New York, Nick?
Yeah, so I think the interesting thing here, and everyone can agree to this, is that it's going to come down to the general managers in the front office on both sides, respective to the Jets and the Packers. And speaking of the general managers, according to ProFootballTalk.com, general manager for the New York Jets, Joe Douglas, at an event, I believe Friday, hosted by WFAN, the radio station there in New York, was asked by Boomer Esiason about Rodgers becoming a Jet, and Douglas said, quote, he's going to be here, unquote. So all sides on the New York Jets are acting as if Rodgers will be there. And here's what I think they're doing that's really smart. Because one of the things you're hearing in the sports media right now, Mize, and a lot of people who I think aren't thinking this very correctly, is they're sitting there and say, oh, the Packers have a lot of leverage because the Jets have been very public about how they're open. They're really all in, open to get Aaron Rodgers, doing everything they can to get Aaron Rodgers. It gives the Packers all the leverage. Not true, 100% false, because here's why. Because right now, Aaron Rodgers, whether he plays for the Packers or retires, is a huge cap hit against the Green Bay Packers. He is literally destroying their offseason capabilities for the rest of the offseason, including signing draft picks. That's the kind of situation the Packers are currently in. So the Packers obviously want to move him. And here's the thing that the Jets are doing are really smart. Look at the guys they are signing. They're signing guys that Rodgers is familiar with, right? They're bringing Hackett, the OC. Lazard. They're bringing in veterans, right? They brought in Mecole Hardman. Of course, they're potentially going to add OBJ into the fold. So what does that mean? These are guys that don't have to have a lot of reps with Aaron Rodgers in the offseason. These are guys that know the NFL game. These wide receivers are experienced or they play with Rodgers. Hackett obviously coached with Rodgers. So it doesn't matter when Aaron Rodgers becomes a New York Jet. The Packers, there's been rumors they've been threatening to wait all the way up to training camp, in which case the Jets are going to be like, okay, because Rodgers knows these guys. Or they're veterans, so Rodgers knows what to expect of them. So they don't need to have all the mini camps and all the things in the offseason the way other teams need to that have younger offenses. We talk about the Chiefs all the time, especially last offseason. They added a lot of young pieces. They needed to spend time with Mahomes all offseason. This is the exact opposite case. They don't need the entire offseason work together. Do you really think Aaron Rodgers needs to spend 3 months throwing to Mecole Hardman or OBJ if they sign him? No, these guys are veterans. They've been there before. Do you think he really needs to spend an offseason working with Hackett to learn how to run that offense? No, he's done this before. So the Jets can sit here and just wait all they want, because right now the Packers are trying to get the most draft capital they can going into the draft that's only a few weeks away. And that's a ticking clock. The Jets can sit there very smartly and just say, hey, we're going to wait you out, because eventually the draft's going to come and you're going to want something for Aaron Rodgers and you're going to want him to move him off the books. I think the Jets are actually doing a really smart move here, contrary to a lot of popular opinion here, by kind of being so publicly open about it and continuing to sign veterans. They're basically building, Miles, the perfect team for a veteran quarterback to come in, whether it's training camp, whether it's May, whether it's the day before the regular season kicks off, and have success. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. I think Joe Douglas deserves a lot of credit for how he's handling the situation. All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner in today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big-time game-winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.